So I've used spiral notebooks, I've used binders, I've used trapper keepers, I've used paper planners, digital planners, bullet journals. I've used everything and eventually decided to just make my own system. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I've officially tried to film this video 4 times before actually creating an outline like a typical creator, so hopefully this one will be the charm. So today we're going to be talking about the absolute perfect notebook slash life organization slash note-taking system, how I created it, why I created it, what I use it for, and everything like that. So kind of the loose structure will be, I will explain kind of how I use the notebook, walk you through what I used to create it, how you can create your own, where I get everything, and then at the end, if you want to stick around for that, I'll walk you through my actual notebook, the contents of it, and how I personally use it. So we'll get to the practical stuff first and then save the personal stuff about me for later. So, the anatomy of the perfect notebook. So a couple of different uses that you might use this for. It's not, like I said, it's not just for note taking. It can be for recipe organization. It can be a really flexible planner. If you like bullet journaling, in my opinion, like the one limitation of bullet journaling was that you couldn't like rearrange anything. This could be a better bullet journal, church notes, planning parties, I don't know, like you can literally customize it to whatever you need it to be, which is really, really helpful because with a brain like mine, it's constantly changing and constantly doing new things. So I can constantly adapt my notebook to my needs. A couple of things that were really, really important to me when building a notebook or finding a notebook system was it needed to be customizable, it needed to be portable, it needed to be flexible to my needs, and it really needed to be buildable because I like having everything in one place. Well, obviously, if you use the same notebook over years and years, it's gonna get really full, so I needed something that was gonna be able to expand. So without further ado, now that we're like 5 minutes into the video, this is my notebook. I call it the book. This is the book. Which, if you've seen The Devil Wears Prada, which I have like 82 times, that's what it's named after, just the book. What I did, I'll just kind of quickly go over the different parts of it and how I built it. So I had these covers custom made. All of the different parts of my planner or my notebook are from the Happy Planner system. I believe the main company is Me and My Big Ideas, and I use their products for everything. This, like all of the different parts are from Happy Planner. My planner itself is a Happy Planner. Like I love this company. I love all their products. So you can get covers from Happy Planner. They have like different random covers that you can get, or you can create your own. So I found a shop on Etsy to create this for me. I actually designed it. I just love like lush green vegetation and everything like that. So you can see the front and back covers. So if you can't read it, it says hard truth and ridiculous grace, which is a line to a song that I really, really like. That is where I got the covers. You can create your own easily with like laminating paper and a hole punch, but that is how I did the covers. Now the rings are also from Happy Planner, obviously, and I really love them because if you can see, the little circle in there is a heart. So I love that. I love the disc bound system, and that is pretty much like the focal point of my system, is being disc bound. It's really, really awesome because you can take things out, you can move things around without tearing anything. I have been using the disc bound system for years and years and years, and literally all you do, like, so here, if I can, if I can get it, you just like tear the piece of paper out, and then it just goes right back in. You can just push the paper right back in. I'll finish doing this later. So obviously you can move the different pieces and parts around, which, like I said, was one of the main things that was important to me with a planner or with a notebook. You can't do that with spiral bound. You can't do that with like a bound book kind of a thing. The disc bound system is the best that I have found for having kind of a way that you can move things around. I didn't like the 3-ring punch system because it just, there's not enough hold to the pages. Like if you take a piece of paper, like if it was a 3-ring system, it would pull right out. but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 discs, so this stuff isn't going anywhere. So that's really nice. Oh, the mail guy's here, great. Where I got the discs, you can get just like a set of discs from Happy Planner. They're found at good grief, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, Meyer, I think. Oh, hello, Blue. And he's decided he's gonna take up camp right in front of me, great. The best way I found to get some discs is by looking for an out-of-date planner. So those will go on sale for really, really cheap. And like I said, you can get those at pretty much any craft store, and a lot of times they'll have a coupon. Like Hobby Lobby, there's always a 40% off coupon. There's 2 different kinds. There's plastic discs and then there's metal discs. And I really like the metal discs, but the planners and notebooks that have the metal discs are often like $30. So if you don't want to pay $30 for a notebook or for the rings, you can just look. Okay, Blue, buddy, you gotta move. Come on, buddy. We're so cute. Yeah. He doesn't want to move. Blue. You're so cute. I'm sorry, buddy. He's just like, what are you doing? He's just like kicking me with his little leg. I'm sorry, buddy. So you can just get an out-of-date, good grief, an out-of-date planner, which will be on clearance. And then if you have a coupon on top of that, you can get the rings for really, really cheap. And you can just kind of scrap the guts of the planner and just get the rings. So oftentimes they'll have, you know, an out-of-date planner on sale for like $8. And then if you have a 40% off coupon, you can get the rings for like $5, $6. So that is definitely the best way I found to get the discs. I did not buy this all together. Like this was not its own like notebook. I just put everything together from scrap parts of other notebooks and planners that I had. Cover, custom made. The discs you can get really cheaply from an out-of-date planner. And then for the paper itself, I have 2 different ways of doing that. So Happy Planner does have like filler sheets that you can buy for your planner or for any of their notebooks that they sell. So you can get just packets of filler paper. The cheapest and best way I found to do this though is to buy old notebooks that are on clearance and then take the guts out of those. So with Happy Planner, they have the planners and then they have the notebooks. The difference should be obvious. One is planners, one is just a notebook. So what I will do is I will buy old notebooks that maybe have been out for a while and have the kind of paper I like, which is dot grid. I love dot grid paper. So I'll find a dot grid notebook and that will have a couple of tabs in there for different sections and it'll be full of dot grid paper. So then what I'll do is just kind of gut the planner. Obviously you'll get some rings with that. So if you want those rings, that can also be a good way to get rings, is old clearanced notebooks. And then I'll just put everything in my planner. So to kind of show you what that looks like, I have paper and then you can see the different tabs that I have. So what I'll do is I've just taken old dividers from different planners. So you can see this used to be a month part of a planner, but I've just repurposed it into a tab. And instead of, they have like sticky tabs that you can buy to create your own tabs. I just take a little sheet of paper, snip it, and then use packing tape to attach it to the label. So it's on both sides, but you can create your own tabs without having to pay for an actual like tab sticky thing. I don't know. Yeah, so like this is the back of my notebook where I just have a blank tab and then all of my blank paper in the back. So when I need a new sheet of paper, I can just tear it out of here, turn it into whatever it needs to be, and then put it in whatever section it needs to go into. And like I said, the really, really nice thing is as I use maybe one section more than the others, I can rearrange the order of the sections. I can rearrange the order of the pages. That makes it really nice for adding in maybe notes or pieces of paper that weren't on a sheet of paper designed for this specifically. So for example, I put all of my sermon notes from church into my little notebook here. I have the punch for the disc bound system, which I think I got with a 40% off coupon, and I think it's normally like $20 or $30, so I got it for like $15. Now I can create my own printables. I can, you know, like my church notes always get printed on these little sheets of paper, so I just punch them and they go right in there. And then another thing that you can do, so I have a gardening section because I'm starting to like especially with quarantine and everything, trying to like find some way to keep busy. I printed out a book that I bought on gardening, and so I have that in here. And then I was doing some research on different peach trees, so I printed that out. I even added like my own little dot grid paper. So it's really, really nice because you can, you know, print out your own pages and then punch them. Real quick note on printing out your own pages. So it might be kind of hard to tell on screen, but this is not a full size paper. It's not like 8.5 by 11. I don't know the exact dimensions. I think it's like 8.5 or like 5.5 by 8.5 or something. So it's a pretty like, it's compact without being too compact, and I really love the size. Oh, hello, Scarlett. How, obviously, if you printed out a full sheet of paper, it wouldn't fit. So I believe, I don't remember where I read this, but if you go to print out a full-size sheet of paper that you want to put in your notebook, in the like print settings, if you mark it to 82% of its original size, it'll print out the perfect size for going in a size. This is the classic Happy Planner size. So that is how I create all of my own printables. And then obviously you have to cut it out, but it's really easy. So that way you can put literally anything that you want to in here. Just print it out at the right size, cut it out, which I really want to get a paper guillotine, like the little like cutter thing, so I can do it quickly, because cutting everything out with scissors. You guys are being goofy. Are you guys goofy? Are you goofy boy? Oh, thank you. Hello, Blue. You're a cute boy. So yeah, you can print out literally anything from recipes to articles that you found interesting to whatever the case may be, and put it in here. And so for that reason as well, this is the perfect system. You can add whatever, rearrange whatever. You can get bigger discs if you want to expand. So they have small discs, regular size discs, and then medium discs. These are, or no, they have really, really tiny ones. They have the classic, and then they have big ones, which I have, my actual planner has the very large discs. So you can see the difference there. So if this gets much bigger, he's just sitting there chewing his tail. So if this gets much bigger, I'm gonna need to switch it to bigger rings, but it is expandable. So it ticks all of the boxes that I had for a notebook system, and I absolutely love it. So I will throw down in the comments a list of all the different guts that I used to create my notebook, where I got my cover, my rings, etc., as well as maybe some links of where you could find cheap versions of those. I believe there are other brands out there besides Happy Planner. I think like Martha Stewart does a disc-bound system. Staples, I think, used to have one. I don't know if they still do, but there are different disc-bound systems out there. You don't have to use Happy Planner. I just love all of their stuff. I mean, like, how cute is this? Like, it's adorable. I love their products. You can find different things out there that might be a little bit cheaper, or if you're not a super colorful person, there are definitely like not colorful options out there. I will go ahead and link some of those in the description. So a couple different things that you can add as well. Happy Planner does sell little like adhesive pockets that can go on the inside of the cover. So you could have, I think it's like a half triangle, or that would still be a triangle. They have like a triangle kind of a thing. So you can have a little pocket in the front cover. They have top tabs, which I just use sticky notes. So like in my gardening tab, which, look how, isn't that cute? In my little gardening tab, I have a sticky note as a tab for where my peach research starts. So they have a bunch of different accessories you can use. I like to keep it simple and kind of DIY everything, but they have a lot of different accessories. They even have like elastics that you can put around the outside of the notebook to keep it all together if you're like throwing it in a backpack or something. So this, I have been using this for over a year now, and it has held up really, really well. I did have a little bit of trouble with the covers. They kind of split, but what I found is that when the covers split and kind of start to come apart, just throw them inside some parchment paper and iron them a little bit, not too high of a heat, and they'll come back together and be really strong. So like this, that's not going anywhere. And if it does, I can just iron it again. Now, for those of you who are interested, I'll walk you through what is in my actual notebook, kind of bit by bit. So if you're not interested in that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts, and then click off the video. But for those of you who are interested to see what's inside my actual notebook, we'll get right into that. So a little bit of background, I've always been a super huge paper person. Just how my brain works, it works so much better if I put things down on paper. I love pretty stationery, pretty notebooks, pretty planners. Like I even used to, I had an Etsy shop for like 5 minutes. I had exactly one sale where I would like decorate planners for people, and I'll put up some different examples of the planners that I've created over my time as a planner user. And I am a huge planner user. Like I have my notebook, but then I also have like my giant regular paper planner. But anyways, so I loved just like the feel and the experience of paper, but obviously organizing things digitally means, you know, if you put it in the cloud, you have access to it anywhere. It's a lot easier to kind of rearrange and keep organized. So for a while I struggled with finding a system that could kind of do both, where, you know, you had a system that was accessible and flexible and easy to use, but one that also kind of just had the experience of paper. And there's just something about like, I don't know, I always would journal as a kid, and something about writing in the last page of a journal and closing it and it no longer being a journal, but now it's just a book. Like, I don't know. I love paper. So over the years, I've used literally every single type of like note-taking device / organizational device. And this is not just for note-taking. This, like, I use this for everything from note-taking to like recipe organization and planning out my garden and things like that. Or I should say future gardening, because I can't really have one in my apartment. I've used everything from your regular spiral bound notebooks. I used to, when I was little, like 7 or 8, Target would have their like back to school supplies thing, which was my favorite. I don't know why, I've always loved like the whole back to school thing and like school supplies and all of that. But Target would have packs of 10 notebooks for $1. So you get literally 10 notebooks for 10 cents each. And I would make my mom get me like 10 packs of notebooks. So we would just have like 100 notebooks sitting in my basement. And anytime I had a new idea for a project, a new story I wanted to write, a new like club I was making, I was really into making clubs when I was little. I'll make a video about that sometime, because I have some really interesting memorabilia from that. I would just always get a new notebook. It was like a fresh notebook with fresh papers, like fresh possibilities. I don't know. So I've used spiral notebooks, I've used binders, I've used trapper keepers, I've used paper planners, digital planners, bullet journals. I've used everything, and eventually decided to just make my own system, because then I could have everything that I wanted. So what I've come up with is more or less like the perfect notebook system. It's perfect for me. So you might have your thing that you like, but this, for the person who likes the flexibility and portability of, well, maybe not portability, but the flexibility and like level of organization and customability that comes with digital organization, we got that. But if you like paper, we got that too. So let's jump right in. So my beautiful cover. I'm really into designing my own covers because I like having something unique, and I usually have a certain feel that I'm going for. Like, I really love foliage and all things like plants. And so I kind of like had a specific feeling I wanted to go for with my cover, and I think I definitely achieved what I was going for. Just like that peaceful sereneness of being surrounded by greenery. So this is the front of my notebook. I kind of use this as a dashboard where all of my different thoughts and ideas go if they don't have a specific place to go. So maybe like random prayer requests or ideas for videos or whatever the case may be, those just go here because I don't have a specific place for them yet. The first part of my notebook is my Bible color coding system. Now this has taken me like 2 or 3 months to create. I did this last year. I just like sat down and was like, all right, building out a color coding system, because I'm a huge believer in color coding things. So if you guys want to see a video on that, let me know and I will create that. But that's what that is. And then I have all of my church notes here, as well as the Bible reading plan that I wanted to do. I'm now a month behind. That's okay. So this was one of those things that I printed out and cut out and put in there. And then the next part is my little prayer journal. So I have different like prayers and things, and then fun little things that I find that kind of like, excuse you. fun little things I can like print out and add in there as I choose. And then we have my actual Bible notes. So this is different from my Bible study notes. These are notes of things that I came across in the Bible and wanted to like. All right, so then we move on to the actual Bible notes section, which is different from the Bible, like church notes section. So how I did this was I wanted a place where I could keep all of my different notes from my actual Bible on different topics. So, you know, in church, you're probably dealing with one topic at a time. And so I wanted all of those notes in one place. So for example, everywhere in my Bible where I have a note about marriage, I make a little note of it here and I can like take some notes. Oh, hello, Blue. We have some company. Hey, buddy. So then there's also, the mail guy is back. What? I have a section on parenting because I'm a crazy person and I'm already like preparing for parenting even though I have no children, and just different things like that. So I keep all of my different notes on each topic there, and then I can kind of reference back to where in the Bible I found it and then know what I was thinking and blah, blah, blah. So it's just like kind of a little topic place where all of my notes on one topic are found. I have a little marriage tab, which is currently empty. It's actually kind of funny because literally the first page, prayers for my husband, and then it's blank because I tend to kind of start projects and then fizzle out. In here I'm planning to have like date night ideas, things we've done that were really fun, things that we've done that maybe weren't so fun and not repeat again, because I really enjoy planning like fun dynamic date nights for us. Anyways, and you can see, of course, my little dot grid paper, and it's this really pretty peachy color. Then we have my gardening tab, which I love this divider. I think it looks really Blue, you just barked. You're such a goof. You're such a goofy boy. Listen, I love you. Hi. Oh, thank you. I think it's really like fun and springy looking. So in my gardening tab, I have a book that I printed out on gardening from the Fresh Exchange. She is a Michigan gardening blogger. And then in here, I also have been doing research on which peach trees grow best in Michigan. So I have an article printed out with all the different peach varieties here. And what I did was, if you can see, I actually put the article on peach colored dot grid paper so that I can take notes accordingly. And then my last section has this really fun friends support friends design, and it's just all of my blank paper. So if I need paper for something, I just come back here and I have a couple different kinds. So as I, buy new notebooks for their guts and take out the paper and the sections and stuff, I just add them to the back here. And then I even have some small paper. So this makes like a really good table of contents kind of a thing. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I know this was kind of all over the place. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. Have you used a system like the disc-bound system? If so, let me hear your experiences down below. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I had to do it like 4 times. I think I recorded this like 4 or 5 times before I finally have something resembling a coherent video. So give me a thumbs up for the effort. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications whenever I upload new videos. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.